Hi YouTubers, hi, how are you? Hope you're well. Glad to be back doing another vlog. I hope you don't mind the vlogs I do. They're on the cheap until I can get some more money to get some equipment. But that's all up in the air. I have a few plans. I want to go into detail, but I'm going to hold back for now until they're more settled and arranged. But for now, I'm going to do this vlog on the gender identity, the GRC and GRA. There's been a lot in the news recently about it, and so I've got an article here from pinknews.co.uk, and I'll read it out to you and then I'll comment afterwards. The Equalities Minister Liz Truss is reportedly committed to reviewing the way trans people are treated by gender recognition laws, despite claims by the Mail on Sunday that the matter had been abandoned. On October 6th, the Mail on Sunday published an allegation that plans to publish the results of a public consultation on reforming gender recognition laws had been shelved. But sources close to the government plans refute the claims that the review of the Gender Recognition Act, which controls how trans people gain legal recognition of their gender, had been abandoned. They said the Secretary of State is committed to following through with the consultation in due course. We've been waiting. It was supposed to have been published this summer. Gone. Still waiting. A Government Equalities Office spokesperson said the Secretary of State had only recently taken on the brief and will be carefully considering all responses over the next steps. There will be an announcement in due course. We're waiting. Liz Truss has previously called for more free speech on trans issues. A public consultation on the potential overhaul of the GRA was launched by the Equalities Minister Penny Mordaunt in Theresa May's government in July 2018. The consultation received more than 100,000 responses. The results were expected to be published this last summer, as I said, with Mordaunt saying at the Pink News summer reception in July that she hoped to publish them before Theresa May stood down as Prime Minister. However, they still haven't been made public by the time Boris Johnson became PM, and the government's Equalities Office confirmed that the plans to publish the results of the consultation had been delayed yet again. Currently, trans people must prove they have lived their gender for 2 years and have a medical diagnosis of gender dysphoria, after which their application for a gender recognition certificate is approved or refused by a panel who don't meet them. There's the problem. Reforming the GRA to allow trans people to self-determine their gender when applying for a GRC without a medical diagnosis or the need to prove that they have lived their gender has been called for by Stonewall and other LGBT+ organisations. In particular, most trans people self-identify their gender in their day-to-day lives, as the GRC is not required for access to gender spaces such as bathrooms or changing rooms. Both self-ID has become the cornerstone of the backlash against the GRA reforms and some anti-trans feminists. Well, that was the report that was published on the 7th of October. I'm a bit sweaty, you must apologise. I'll explain why. The door to this room is shut, and since they put on the insulation on my council block, it sucks all the heat in, so it's very warm in here, and with this light it's even warmer. So you must forgive me for mopping my forehead brow. It doesn't also help that I just got out the shower. So the Gender Recognition Act is stalled, basically, again. We don't know when it's going to be released. We don't know what in due course means. We don't know how long this is going to take. It is really annoying because, as the report says, and as I've mentioned, we were hoping for a review, some sort of decision in the summer just gone, 2019, but nothing was held. And I think the problem we have is with Brexit taking over all the parliamentary debate and discussion, this is just being pushed back and back and back until either Brexit is done and settled or somebody comes in after a general election and takes it up by force and really runs with it. My ideas on the GRA are that they do need to be reformed. The process for getting a gender recognition certificate is like jumping through hoops, and so many trans men and women and non-binary folk don't. I don't even think I'm not sure if you can get a certificate, a GRC, if you're non-binary. That's a good point. I should look that up. But for all trans folk, trying to get a GRC is so hard to do, and it's a nightmare. And I think spouses can still refuse to grant it under the current legislation. I'm not sure, but I think they can still stop it from happening. Your transition from going ahead, which again is just outrageous. There's so much in the Gender Recognition Act that needs reforming, and it needs reforming soon, because it doesn't the way trans folk in this country go about their lives, most of them don't have a GRC, as I've said, and so applying for it can be a nightmare, and it costs money. It costs you a lot of money, and you have to have a lot of medical forms, and you have to have a lot of letters to prove that you've got gender dysphoria and all the rest of it, and you need umpteen letters from your doctors. It's a real hassle. I mean, at Chrysalis, which I'm a trustee of, we've had a number of meetings in the past where one of the facilitators will go through what you need to do for the GRC. After the first page, everybody is lost as to what we're supposed to be doing, because it's so complicated and so draconian. So it needs reform. The whole act needs reform. As for the TERFs, well, they're just right-wing nutters now at the moment. They've gone so radically over to the right-hand side of politics to get their voices heard that I think they're becoming more and more irrelevant. They don't share anything in common with the LGBT plus community, and to my experience have virtually ostracised themselves from that community with their opposition towards trans rights. We need the Act reformed, and I'm worried that the government, being a right-wing government, will more or less listen to the TERFs and the anti-trans people. And what I fear the most is we'll get a watered-down version of what everybody's hoping for. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't get a watered down version once it comes out. I hope it is good, brilliant, and like the one that they have in Ireland. But we will have to wait and see. I'm hoping that we won't have to wait so long anymore and it'll get done. But as I've said, with Brexit, everything in politics is being pushed to the sides or to the back or underneath, because Brexit has taken over everything, and it is stifling political debate in this country, and it is unbelievable. So hopefully this report will reassure trans folk that the government is not burying it and are still working on the issues, and we're still going to have some sort of decision sooner or later. Whether it's going to be positive for us, whether it's going to be a bodge job, whether it's going to be a hashed up job, we'll have to wait and see. But whatever happens, if it's not what we want, we will fight. I know that. But I'm hoping the government, like with the Marriage Equalities Act, will come round for the trans community, and we will get the recognition that we need and that we want, and we will be able to identify the way we choose to in the future. That's this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's on the cheap and I'm very sweaty, but as I say, I just got out the shower and it's very hot in the studio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon, YouTubers. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.